Well, let me just say right up front, my background has been as a human resources executive. And I'm, particularly sensitive to inflicting religious beliefs on anybody. And particularly in organizational settings, giving even the slightest impression that the organization is inclining toward a particular spiritual or religious, set of beliefs that people should incline toward is very problematic. I have been in certain cultures like Google where they've actually flipped that on their head, where sort of all religions are widely and openly celebrated, and religious practices are invited, and and I love it. It's kind of very vibrant and intelligent, and I think that open source approach to religions is a very powerful and binding factor for a firm like that. But generally speaking, I just want to say up front, as an HR executive, I'm very sensitive to inflicting any religious beliefs on other people, either implicitly or explicitly, in organizational settings. On the other hand, the secularization of mindfulness meditation I have some concerns about it. On the one hand, I completely get it, right? Let's look at it from a scientific point of view. Let's introduce it to people in ways that they can see the benefits, and that it's evidence-based, and that it can be used in hospital settings for people who are trying to manage their pain or their distress. I think it's a beautiful thing. So it's not like I don't get it. However, my experience in organizational settings is that fundamentally, when you really sit down with one another and talk about your experience of having a livelihood, making a living, fundamentally, the issues that people are concerned about are spiritual. They're fundamentally spiritual. A sense of worthiness, for example. People want to feel worthy of being who they are. And often that gets waylaid into what office do they have, or how much am I getting paid, or do I have the right credential? But underneath of all that is a very spiritual issue about being a worthy human being. That's a spiritual issue. Here's another one. One of the things that has fascinated me since the first day I started working on Wall Street to this very day is that fear is one of the dominant dynamics in the workplace. People are afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of speaking their minds. They're afraid of offending each other. They're afraid of the impression they're making. They're afraid that they won't get enough recognition. This is powerful. And the ability to create an atmosphere where people feel courageous, candid, open, willing to take risks, that's fundamentally a spiritual issue. That is not a business issue, so to speak. It's fundamentally a spiritual issue. It's about being human. So, I do a lot of work with executives. I don't even think I use the word spiritual. But I'm quite aware that the questions that many of these people my colleagues are trying to answer are profoundly spiritual questions. So I think we need to be careful in secularizing what we're doing in such a way as to create some kind of scientific materialism where everything can be results-oriented or evidence-based, when really we're seeking meaning. We're seeking worthiness and fulfillment and human dignity. And I am fortunate that I've been trained by great teachers. So that's been kind of placed inside my heart. And my mom and my dad were that way too. And I think we all are. So, yeah, I think we need to keep our eye on that as we build for the future, is this sense of spiritual wisdom in the workplace.